everyone, it's me, Baby Luigi Kid, and welcome to my very first top 5 list. Today, I will be doing the top 5 best and my least favorite SpongeBob episodes. And also, if you like these episodes, that's awesome, because to be honest, it was really hard to make this list, considering SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon show. It's pretty hard, but anyway, let's get started. My number 5 least favorite SpongeBob episode is Keep Bikini Bottom Beautiful. So the reason why I didn't really like this episode is probably because I felt bad for Squidward in this episode. Like, he would always get, tickets over and over. And I know Squidward is supposed to be a jerk, but it's not really his fault, though. It's mostly the police officers. He always has to do over and over, and Squidward doesn't do everything. And it's kind of pretty annoying. And the episode, it is disgusting. Like, when Squidward has the disgusting house. To me, I said like when he looked at the house, he ran off. But it's gross when he eats the food, eats the. But I have to admit though, my favorite part when Squidward's doing that dance, like when he's walking down, he reminds me of Peter Parker and what I'm talking about. But let's go to number 5 favorite. My number 5 favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, this one might be different from other people, but I like it, is SquarePants Family Vacation. To me, I just thought this episode was just fun to watch. Like, sure, it can be a little bit hollow, a little bit flimsy at times, and a few times, but I think the episode holds up. I think the beginning of this episode, when they're in the car, I thought that was pretty great, especially when Patrick just gets on the car and he's just, the car just bounces everywhere. I just find that pretty funny. And the song When I'm on the Road, it's a pretty catchy song. And the ending of the episode isn't too bad either. The middle of the episode, it's alright, but I think those 3 parts, I think are pretty good. And so the middle part though, like when they're lost, it was alright. But I think the part in the beginning and them at the end, I thought that those parts were pretty great. Not amazing, but great. But anyway, I think this is one of my favorite newer SpongeBob episodes. But now let's move on to my 4th least favorite. My 4th least favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants is probably All That Glitters. This is like 2 or 3, like when this episode came on TV, and I just never was really a big fan of it. It's just that a lot of episodes are focused on SpongeBob, just crying for the whole episode. I'm not really big fans of. Not all the time. Like, for example, Have You Seen the Snail? SpongeBob is sad in the episode, but I think the episode, I think I think it works so well that it's one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes. It's not on this list, but it would definitely be an honorable mention. But when I'm talking about SpongeBob crying, I'm talking about him crying about stuff that he can easily re-get. But Have You Seen the Snail, which he can't get Gaily back. And another reason why I'm not really that big on this episode is it's just not as interesting as some other episodes. And I'm not a big fan of when SpongeBob gets naked. I thought that part was kind of weird and it could be funny just a little bit, but not that funny. So anyway, I didn't really enjoy this episode, but But anyway, I'll tell more about it at the end, but let's get on to my fourth favorite. Okay, my fourth favorite episode of SpongeBob. This might surprise you all, but my fourth favorite is Band Geeks. I know a lot of you are gonna be saying, but isn't Band Geeks like the best episode of SpongeBob? The thing is, I really love this episode. I think it's an incredible episode, but I don't think it's the best episode. Just probably because I don't think it's like the most creative or funniest episode, but I think the episode is awesome still. Especially that Squidward is the protagonist and Squilliam's the antagonist. I thought that was great. And even though this isn't my favorite SpongeBob episode, I think this has the best SpongeBob ending. I thought the ending to this episode was great. And I don't think it's the funniest episode, but it's definitely a great episode. So let's continue on. So probably my third least favorite episode is A Day Without Tears. It's pretty much the same thing about the previous episode. It's pretty much, and I love Squidward. I get that he's a grump to SpongeBob, but it's kind of, I just think this episode's just not that funny though with the whole crying thing. Like, I don't really think it's funny really at all. I think crying with SpongeBob could work at some stances, but I don't think a whole episode could work. I just don't think it can. So, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this episode. But my third favorite episode definitely is a great episode. So, my number 3 favorite episode of SpongeBob is Christmas Who, or you guys probably know it as the SpongeBob Christmas Special. Oh my gosh, where do I even start with this episode? This episode is, well, it's not my favorite, but this is probably the most nostalgic episode on my list. I love this one growing up. It's just that I loved like how it's just it's great. It's great to watch around Christmas. Especially the song I like is great, especially in how Mr. Krabs is singing. I can't do it, but I thought, and also I like that they made Squidward like he felt bad for SpongeBob, and he actually gave him a present, and then he dresses up as Santa and gives everyone. And then there's also some funny jokes in there, like when Squidward says, I think I'm a honky honk big jerk," and I think I am a jackass. I thought that is just funny. So this episode was really, really close. I originally thought this was like one of my favorite episode. I still adore this episode, but it's not my favorite. But now let's go to my second least favorite episode. Well, this video is getting pretty long, so I'll make a part 2, and probably much just a day after this video is uploaded. But yeah, though, I'll make a part 2. Baby Luigi Kid out.